it's Lindsay. Welcome back to my channel. I am back again with some more of the Call of Cthulhu. Next week it's going to be Apsalov, End of Gods. And, yeah, not much to say other than I'm not for kids, I am loud, so headphone users beware, and there is some swearing in this, so viewer discretion is advised. So with that out of the way, let's give her! Okay, where am I? Okay, there's storage. The only thing that's blocking it from this end is that padlock. I know that. So far, no one has seen me. Hey.
I've got what you want.
Show me!
There. And remember, they don't come for free.
Don't you worry, you'll have your diversion. Go on now, go hide yourself. The crows! They're everywhere! Make them go away!
Guards are still there.
Right. Well, so much the better. Now go visit the land of dreams and leave me in peace.
Ah, dreams. Crazy.
Get me out!
Locked up my
What is welling up inside me? I feel it in my head.
Carnage.
No kidding! God damn! There's the last one.
All the levers are activated.
Hopefully that guard's not there. He isn't. Crap. We're gonna get out of here, boys!
That should draw the attention of the guards. I should hide.
Damn it.
Thanks for the assist. Guards should be gone. Hope. Fuck yeah! Let's go, boys!
Damn.
God, fuck. Holy hell!
Doctor, is that you?
Don't you worry about the doctor. Right now, he'll have plenty to keep him busy with his precious machine. It gives us time to get away. I'll undo you.
away? Get away where? I can't go anywhere. It'll find me like it found me here. You're mistaken about the beast. Don't stay with me, or you'll end up the same way.
What did they do
You're
to you?
Sanders, aren't you? I heard you from my cell. What did they do to you? What does Fuller want with you?
The doctor? You think it's the doctor who scares me? The doctor wants to heal me. But he's the one who's crazy. He wants to restore my sight. He wants to give me back my eyes. And yet I told him that I didn't want him. I do not want to see it anymore. The real culprit is Sarah. Her and her accursed paintings.
You're kidding. You're talking about Sarah Hawkins.
The one and only. The legendary. There is no artist more enlightened or cursed than Sarah Hawkins.
I saw the traces of a revocation ritual in Sarah Hawkins' office. Is it connected to this curse?
She tried to correct her mistake, yes. She tried everything. She told me. But she failed. And that's what counts.
What's going on this island?
That's the big question.
I'm so sorry. We should never have met.
What are you talking about?
Destiny! It has trapped you. Don't let it see you, or you won't be able to escape it. Don't look at it. That's how it finds you.
What finds me?
Sarah Hawkins' visitor. The Shambler.
Sanders,
Shambler?
pull yourself together.
Without her, it's no longer possible to save me.
What the hell?
No!
Sanders!
Holy crap!
What the hell?
By the All-Father, is this Loki's doing? Oh shit, snacks, boys, I'm out!
This is insane. What killed him?
That's easy, Cthulhu! Either that or Loki just went on a rampage. I have no fucking idea. Locked.
Damn! The gas!
And I'm dead.
Oh. My head.
Later. We need to move on.
Okay, I need to see about this dude. So there's Charles Hawkins. You have Marie Colden. And of course, Francis Sanders, who is now dead. Alright, Hawkins Mansion. Pierce woke up in an asylum installed in the cellars of the Riverside Institute. He met Dr. Colden, a female friend of Bradley, who helped him escape. Wandering through the corridors of this place where Dr. Fuller reigns supreme, Pierce was able to talk to a man called Francis Sanders before dying in full view of the detective. He and Sarah Hawkins of being the cause of his... He accused Sarah Hawkins of being the cause of his torments. Pierce finally left the accursed building accompanied by Bradley and Colden. The companions in misfortune decide to use the Hawkins Mansion as a hideout. Can't say as I blame them for using that as a hideout. I gotta say, the imagery in this game is really cool.
Who goes there? That
I'm back in the-
nightmare again. I need a drink.
You're awake, Mr. Pierce. How do you feel?
Did I sleep long?
The day is only starting. It's fine.
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the Force, but that'll come soon.
Bradley?
Who else would it be?
Mr. Pierce, are you all right? You look like you saw a ghost.
He's supposed to be dead.
There are things I can't explain.
Tell us. What happened?
No.
What I'm sure of now is that the Hawkins case isn't just an accident.
And what brings you to that conclusion?
The fact that Charles Hawkins survived the fire.
I don't understand. Mr. Hawkins was buried.
That's what he would have you believe.
I have a hard time believing you.
You were there, Bradley. You even opened fire on him.
I'd remember that.
Why would he fake his own death? Do you think he covered up his wife's murder?
Maybe.
That's possible.
Seems hard to swallow. Don't you have anything more concrete, Pierce?
Working on it.
Bradley, what do you remember?
I don't understand your question.
The night we went into the Hawkins mansion. You don't seem to remember the tunnels and what occurred there.
No memory of going down any tunnel. No, we were in the manor, then,
Bingo.
Then what?
The rest is quite blurry. I don't recall how I came back home.
And then?
I went to visit you at the hospital. And called on Marie's help to get you released.
And you don't remember the events of the tunnel?
I don't. Let's talk about something else.
You and Doc Colden, eh?
I heard you talking earlier.
Why am I not surprised?
I get the impression you two don't get along.
Intrusive and not very clever. Anyway, let's get back to the business at hand.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough.
I found a file bearing Sarah Hawkins' name in the Institute's basement.
It makes sense. A powerful family like the Hawkins had the means to hide such a disgrace.
But everyone knows the Fullers have been taking care of the Hawkins for at least a generation.
Really?
And all were aware of Mrs. Hawkins' fragility.
Perhaps, but no one would allow a psychiatric internment.
From what I read in the file, Fuller used her as a subject of his experiments.
Good lord.
Francis Sanders and Sarah Hawkins, subjects of Dr. Fuller. Why those two?
Given the energy he pours into Riverside, I presume it was Fuller's creation.
His father's, to be correct. He was a surgeon on board the Scylla. He founded the hospital in 1904 with funds from the Hawkins family before he died and his son Thomas Fuller took over.
Really?
Two families inextricably linked.
Most island families are that way. Captain Fitzroy's father was also a seaman aboard the Scylla.
Powerful families.
Hey, Mr. Blue.
dominating everything.
Yes, and as you could tell, Dr. Fuller is like some crazed emperor.
He
Yeah,
wouldn't
no
be happy if he
kidding. This
knew
when we
it
were
was
dealing with some
Mrs.
H.P.
I
Lovecraft.
know the risks. I don't fear him. Do you wish to know anything else?
It's called the Call of
Dr. Fuller seems to be
Cthulhu.
leaving a trail of corpses.
If you've
Not to mention those
read the
strange
story,
machines,
you would
chains,
know.
tools of all
It's-
kinds.
Yeah, it's actually a really good game
I've
so
been
far.
telling you that Fuller uses his patients as guinea pigs.
What I
Asshat.
saw was more akin to torture than medicine.
Do you even hear what you're saying? Dr. Fuller is highly respected.
It's the truth, Ethan. And I'll prove it to you.
How?
I'm listening, Mr. Pierce.
Ah, yes. South Park.
I have flashbacks. They haunt me.
What did they do to you?
There was that Dr. Fuller and a nurse. Blood everywhere.
Oh yeah, that really badly
Couldn't
generated
bear it. I
CGI
was screaming.
Cthulhu.
They injected me with something. I woke up at the Institute. Bradley was there.
And how you scared us. You seemed demented.
You likely woke up during the anesthesia. No wonder those memories haunt you. What in God's name were they doing to you?
What
Anything
happened
and everything?
afterwards?
When I woke up the second time, I was in a padded cell. That's where you found me, Doctor. After you released me, I got a good look at what's in store for the patients of the Riverside Institute.
But then again, it fits with South Park.
Hallucinogenic gas pumped into the cells. An infernal machine. Horrific medical experiments.
Impossible. Dr. Fuller would never do such a thing.
Doctors
You
have been
should
accused of
believe it,
worse.
Ethan. What Mr. Pierce saw is precisely what I've been trying to prove. Did you discover anything else?
I might be on onto a lead.
I met a Francis Sanders.
Next one's actually going to be on Winchester.
Of course, he's a patient.
Winchester.
Or was. I haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller had him transferred to the basement.
He knew Sarah Hawkins. And that's what killed him.
But I have to see James Dean
How did he
Fur.
die?
It's the
not sure I can
2018 film
Tell me how
on.
Mr. Sanders died.
He called him the Shambler.
I didn't see what. But something was there.
It's a good one, and I actually want to see the actual house it's based on.
Sanders said it was Sarah Hawkins' visitor. He spoke of it like a living being.
Sarah Hawkins? Have I missed something here? This makes no sense. I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying. It's no coincidence.
Nope.
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector.
That he
I guess
was.
you can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene Sanders.
An art collector, you say? That's probably how they met.
If you plan on having dinner at the Sanders household, please spare the widow the tale of her late husband's suffering.
I don't agree. She deserves the truth.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
She's got. Let's stay prudent for a while, guys.
Without a plausible explanation for what I saw, let's not jump to conclusions.
That seems wise indeed.
Very well. I'll go to see Francis's widow. Perhaps I'll find a link between her husband's death and
How do I
Sarah
plan out my reviews?
Don't
I
end
really
up in the
don't.
hospital this time.
I'll do my best.
To be completely blunt, I don't. I don't plan my reviews. I just, as Stone Cold Steve Austin would say, I just spew the bullshit on my brain. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. It's the same thing with my review of the new, I know you like planning, but again, with my reviews, I don't plan them. I just say what's on my mind and just go with it. Anyway, Pierce, Colin, and Bradley decide to team up to solve the Sarah Hawkins case, and they have a new trail. New trail to follow. Francis Sanders was an art collector and friend of the painter who died right in front of Pierce. The detective goes to his house to speak to his widow about the Shambler that the unfortunate man had mentioned before he died. And yeah, Stone Cold Steve Austin is the best. I remember during the 25th anniversary of Raw, he actually stunned. He is, but he's
What can I do for you, sir?
Mrs. Sanders, I'm a private detective.
but he
We must talk
speaks
about it.
honestly.
It's ties to Sarah Hawkins.
Yeah, he's done Mr. McMahon and Shane McMahon. It's awesome.
However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
That is precisely what brings me here.
Well, well. Look
Hello,
who's here.
Cat. Nah, he's not. He's really out of touch with what
You
goes
know
on.
each other.
We met briefly. Time enough to iron out a few matters. The main thing is that we understood one another. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, Detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Really?
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very well, Miss Baker.
Yeah, and stocks
This
with
way,
WWE
Mr.
have not been
Pierce.
doing well.
And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me.
Yeah.
May I inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
Yesterday, I met him at the hospital. He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings.
He was an art
Please forgive
collector.
my tone. The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned. You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died. How was he? Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
As I had to tell her the
He
truth.
started raving, screaming that a dimensional Shambler had
I
found him.
might,
That
but
story again. Why have him interned?
That was when he began to convulse and
I don't
twist
know.
with pain. Or terror, it's hard to tell.
I beg your pardon?
I'm not really sure of what I saw, or what I didn't see. But it's best that you weren't there.
I should have been there. What you're telling me is outrageous. I need to understand. How could this happen? In a reputed institute? And right before your eyes? Did you not do anything to help him?
I tried.
It's terrible what happened to your husband, but I had nothing to
But
do
in
with
all
it.
honesty, my
I was
apartment's
injured,
too small.
and
There's
I
nothing
came across
really
him in the
special
hospital
about it.
quite by chance.
Injured? Well, I'm delighted to see you in such fine fettle, Detective. Not everybody enjoyed such a prompt recovery.
I suppose Fuller does do miracles now and again.
Luck is obviously very kind to you. Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then leave.
Did your husband talk to you about Sarah Hawkins' visitor?
See ya, bro.
Shambler, to use his precise
Have a great
term.
weekend.
Well, you can't imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the center of the gallery. No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The Shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
It is my only lead at this stage. I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Nope.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you're so eager to see it...
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders. I won't be long.
Okay. I'm gonna put those... I have 18 points now. Sweet. I'm gonna put... to investigation. Psychology or hidden spot? Let's get hidden spot taken care of. Get that up. There we go. Dr. Fuller. There we go. Irene Sanders. Examine the Shambler. Locked.
Let's see what this cylinder has to say once it's inserted in a phonograph.
And speaking of phonograph,
Irene, I made a mistake. I fear that it might be too late for me. Nobody should enter, except to burn everything. I never had the courage. Pay somebody to do it. He's inside my head. I see him behind my eyelids each time I shut my eyes.
God's above.
I can't take any more. I can't hold him back. Forgive me.
That accursed gallery. Those accursed paintings. That accursed Sarah.
Locked. Hello, cat.
That's twice you've stepped on my toes, Detective. Try not to make a habit of it.
I've got a lot of bad habits.
Some can be more fatal than others. What have you come looking for in this gallery?
Well, might as well just be upfront with it.
Another painting by Sarah Hawkins. One connected to the horrors I've discovered on this island.
What a surprise. I'm listening.
Very well.
All's fair in love and war, I suppose.
Ha! A key. And what's this? Read it. Whoa! This looks like the Necronomicon, guys, but it's not. Holy hell! Here it is. The gallery. Knife, coins, spyglass.
The man transformed an entire wing of his manor into an art gallery.
Quite impressive. Yay, I have more oil in my lamp. Bingo. This must be the Shambler. Gods above! By the Allfather! Pierce, turn around. By the Allfather, what in the name of Hell's Realm itself? By the goddess of the underworld.
What the hell was that?
Gods above! Fuck! I'm out! I'm out! I'm dead. Why can't I fight back? But anyway, I'm gonna call that a day. My ear's starting to give me issues. So, yeah. Anyway, that's gonna be it for today. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. I'll be back next week with some more Absalov End of Gods. So, yeah, until then, peace out all, and have an awesome weekend.